Have you ever felt tired in a way that rest doesn't fix? Not the kind of tired that sleep can cure, but the kind that settles quietly inside you, as if something invisible has been pulling on your heart all day long. You wake up already heavy. You carry old thoughts into new mornings. You react to things that shouldn't matter anymore, yet somehow still do. You tell yourself, I should be over this by now. But you're not. You keep replaying old conversations, old mistakes, old disappointments. And even though life keeps moving forward, a part of you feels stuck, holding onto something you can't name, but can't release. If this feels familiar, stay with me, because this story is not about losing something. It's about discovering why holding on can quietly steal your life, and how letting go can return it to you in ways you never expected. There once lived a man named Daniel in a town that sat between a river and a long stretch of hills. Daniel was known as someone reliable, steady, responsible. He showed up, he remembered, he endured. But what no one saw was how much he carried inside. In Daniel's mind, every unresolved moment became a rope tied to a memory, a rope tied to a regret, a rope tied to someone who hurt him, left him, disappointed him. At first, each rope felt thin, manageable. So Daniel held on. He told himself it was strength, loyalty, responsibility. But over time, the ropes multiplied. He didn't notice when they began to tangle around his hands, his arms, his chest. He only noticed when it became hard to breathe. When someone said something careless, the rope tightened. When life didn't go as planned, it pulled again. When the past resurfaced, it yanked him backward. Daniel was still moving through life, but he was no longer free to choose his direction. Something behind him was always pulling. At night, he lay awake staring into the dark, his chest tight with thoughts he couldn't untangle. Why can't I move on? Why does this still hurt? Why does letting go feel like losing myself? One evening, exhausted from carrying what he could no longer name, Daniel walked toward the river. The water flowed steadily, unconcerned, as if it knew something he did not. I'm tired, Daniel whispered. But if I let go, what will be left? As Daniel stood by the river, he noticed an old man sitting on a fallen log, calmly weaving something from strands of rope. The man's hands were slow, but precise. His face carried a quiet peace. Daniel watched him for a moment, then spoke. What are you making? Daniel asked. The old man looked up and smiled gently. I'm untying knots, he said. Daniel frowned. That doesn't look like untying, he replied. It looks like working with rope. The old man nodded. Yes, he said, but working with rope is very different from being bound by it. Something about the words struck Daniel deeply. I don't know how to let go, Daniel admitted suddenly. I've tried, but everything I hold feels important. The old man set the rope down and gestured for Daniel to sit. Then show me what you're holding, he said. In Daniel's imagination, the ropes appeared clearly. They stretched from his chest into the distance behind him. Some were thick with years of attachment, others thin but sharp with unresolved pain. The old man studied them quietly. You believe these ropes define you, he said, that if you release them, you will lose something essential. Daniel nodded. They're part of my story, he said. My past, my effort, my love. The old man reached down and picked up a small stone, tying a short rope around it. Hold this, he said. Daniel took it. Now walk forward, the old man instructed. Daniel took a step. The rope pulled back. Feel that? The old man asked. Yes, Daniel replied. It's stopping me. The old man nodded. This is what holding on does, he said. It keeps you connected to what no longer moves. Daniel felt his chest tighten. But if I let go, Daniel said, doesn't that mean it didn't matter? The old man smiled softly. No, he replied. It means it mattered enough to be released. Daniel stared at the stone in his hand. For the first time, he realized something painful and freeing at the same time. The pain he felt was not coming from the past itself. It was coming from his grip on it. The rope was not pulling him because the past was strong. It was pulling him because he refused to loosen his hold. Letting go doesn't erase your story, the old man continued. It allows the next chapter to be written. Daniel felt tears rise unexpectedly. All this time, he had believed that holding on was an act of honor, of loyalty, of strength. But what if it was fear? Fear of emptiness, fear of change, fear of standing without the weight that had become familiar. "Look at the river," the old man said. Daniel turned. The water moved endlessly forward, never dragging yesterday with it. "Water does not forget," the old man said, "but it does not cling." Daniel swallowed. For the first time, he saw the paradox clearly. Holding on was not protecting him from pain. It was preserving it. Letting go was not loss. It was release. Slowly, Daniel loosened his grip on the rope. The stone dropped into the river with a soft splash. The pull disappeared. Daniel took a breath he didn't know he had been holding. The ropes around his chest felt looser. Not gone, but lighter. The old man nodded approvingly. "You don't untie every rope at once," he said. "You begin with the one that hurts the most." Daniel looked down at the remaining ropes. Some were tied to people who would never return. Some to versions of himself that no longer existed. Some to expectations that were never truly his. "I'm afraid," Daniel admitted. "If I let go of everything, who will I be?" The old man met his gaze. "You will be who you are without the weight," he said. "And that is the truest version of you." Daniel stayed by the river for some time. One by one, he loosened the ropes. Some fell easily, others resisted. Each release brought a wave of emotion: sadness, relief, fear, peace. But with every rope released, his posture changed. His shoulders lowered, his breathing deepened, his gaze lifted. The river continued to flow, patient and constant. Eventually, Daniel stood with only a few thin strands remaining. "You'll know when to release those," the old man said. "Not everything leaves at once." Daniel nodded. He didn't feel complete, but he felt free enough to move. Daniel returned to his life changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but fundamentally. When old thoughts appeared, he noticed them instead of gripping them. When memories surfaced, he allowed them to pass without pulling himself backward. When pain returned, he asked a different question. "Am I holding this, or is this holding me?" More often than not, he chose to loosen his grip. Life did not become perfect, but it became lighter. He walked forward without being pulled back. Now, my friend, let me share a simple practice you can use today. Sit quietly for 1 minute. Place your hand on your chest. Think of one thing you're still holding on to. A memory, a regret, a person, an expectation. Imagine it as a rope in your hand. Ask yourself gently, is this helping me move forward or keeping me tied to the past? If it's the past, imagine loosening your grip. You don't have to cut the rope. You only need to stop pulling it toward you. Take a slow breath. Let the rope fall. Do this often. Letting go is not a single moment. It is a daily choice. Here is the truth many people never realize. You don't move on because you forget. You move on because you stop holding. Letting go does not take your past away. It gives your future room to arrive. And the moment you release what no longer serves you, you discover something quietly powerful. You were never meant to carry everything forever.